Hello everyone, how are you doing all? It's been a long time. I didn't met you with the new video which I promised, but I'm now here and today is very special. Hey, you're right. I'm making this video at the 7th World Wonder, that is Taj Mahal in India and around Taj Mahal. Yes, that's why I have made this late to join you all with my new video, that is Pvalue. Let me get straight into the content and I'll update you something how it is special today and how come I came here. Yeah, so stay tuned and don't leave in between. So, you know what is P? P is proportion, P is probability. Then what is this P value is for? You will be reading this P value and you will be talking about this P value when you learn and work with hypothesis testing, right? Yes, that's how P value is very much from hypothesis testing, and it is different from the so-called P probability. Why I would like to discuss it here? It is a very big challenge to most of the students, especially I will cover certain challenges which I see students come across when they prepare for their examinations. So the first challenge I'm going to address today is the p-value, especially when you conduct a 1z proportion test using TI-84 calculator. People come back and say, hey Naga, there are many p-values. Which p-value should we choose? Don't worry, you always have to choose the p-value which we are going to work is next after the z-value you see in the output. A similar other challenge which I come across most of the time is the output summary will have a significance values and students get confused because they will be seeing another value called significance level, and what this significance value, immediately they'll ask, is the p-value same as alpha? No, they are not. They are to be compared with one another to make conclusions. So that is how p-value is different from significance level or level of significance, and p-value is identified as a significance value and named as a significance value in the output. That's about the challenges that you face. Now I wanted to talk a little about the p-value too. What is a p-value? P-value is the probability that the null hypothesis is true. So what is null hypothesis? This is another question because most of the terms are very new to the students who learn hypothesis testing, who are practicing, right? So a null hypothesis is a statement which we read in the first steps of hypothesis testing, which always says that everything is equal and everything is similar. Everything is same. Yes, of course. Null hypothesis says always everything is same and everything is equal. And p-value is the probability of null hypothesis is true. Let me take a small example to tell you in practical. If I say that the p-value is 0.03, what does it mean? It meant 3 out of 100 times null hypothesis is true. I think you got an idea now what I'm talking about, right? Basically, why do we conduct a hypothesis testing? Tell me. Our intention of conducting hypothesis testing is to test whether the claim which we make or the researcher makes is statistically significant or not. Isn't it? Yes, to understand it, to make the conclusions, here we need two things. One is the p-value, another is the significance level. If you remember, especially let us take an example of the normal curve, you would have seen that it is bell in shape and you will have the p-values at the tiles, right? That's the rejection. I mean to say the significance level at the tiles, right? That's why they are the red regions and they are the rejection areas, and the middle area is always accepted. So how do we judge, or how do we come out of a conclusion that what to be considered as significant and what not to be? Basically, when you talk literally about the significance level, it is a selected cutoff to determine whether the probability or the p-value which we are taking is to be high or low. Yes, so here the comparison goes, So after finding the p-value from the test statistics, see, p-value is considered for every hypothesis testing. It can be a z-test or it can be a t-test or it can be a z-proportion test or difference between proportions or f-test or any other hypothesis testing. The test statistic value should have a p-value to make conclusion using p-value method. And significance level is the selected cutoff, right? So mostly we take by default as 5%. So what do we do now? After finding the p-value, compare that p-value with this significance value, the so-called rejection region. So when p-value is less than the significance level, we reject the null hypothesis. And when p-value is greater than alpha at the significance level, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So when p-value is less than alpha, we say that the test is significant. When p-value is greater than alpha, we say the test is not statistically significant. That is how we distinguish whether the test is statistically significant or not by comparing the p-value obtained or determined with the significance level that we make the selected cutoff. And one thing I wanted to add on here, that is, either you make the p-value or a critical value decision. It is ultimately to go and to identify whether the test is statistically significant or not. That is the brief idea about the p-value that I would like to present to you. So the students, please remember, I think most of my students are eagerly waiting to know more about this p-value, which I have already discussed in brief to make you to understand. I do have a suggestion for you. If you would like to know more about the p-value, why don't you make the needed requirement or needed statement in the tag as a comment under the comment section. You have a comment section. Please post your questions if you have any, or you wanted me to make a new video with any other topic, do post it. I'll be looking forward for your comments or your questions or your doubts to help you more with the hypothesis testing as you are moving towards the fall examination. And let me tell you, how come today is so beautiful and so specific, and how come I do dare to make a destination video. Yes, I'm celebrating here my 25th wedding anniversary with my husband and with my son. You know, my technical head and my channel creator is none other than my son, I'm proud to say, and I thank my son Surya and my husband Srinivas to bring me all the way here to make my anniversary so memorable, to share the knowledge across the world, and to make my students happy by doing something about the content they are looking forward for. So you are with me to share my happy moments with you today, and I'm here with you, and I have briefed about the p-value. Thank you all, and stay tuned. You know, I have got a new idea that I would like to explore more videos on data science coming up, and I'll join with you with a new video soon. And don't forget to like the video, share the video, and especially don't forget to post your comments about your questions if any, or if you want any specific video to come up with. Thank you all. Bye bye. Take care.